And we're back. We got a bit of baseball, and I think some more positive news about the Jays than we've had any segment thus far in their season.
Yeah, the Jays with a great weekend, getting a sweep of the Atlanta Braves and now jumping 2 games above 500 on the season, only a game and a half back of the Boston Red Sox for first in the American League East. So a great weekend to gain some ground. And a big part of that was the arrival of the Blue Jays bats. They scored more than 5 runs in each of the games. They had 13 in the first one, 7 today, and just it seemed like everyone was contributing. Big part of that, of course, is George Springer's back, and he didn't have the best debut, but in the second game or in the first game of the series, he gets his first hit. And then the second game of the series, he launched 2 absolute bombs. The second one traveling an estimated 470 feet. And that is what George Springer can provide at the leadoff spot. He did clutch at his quad a bit in the second game, running to beat an throw to first base, and actually got pulled out of the game today for leg fatigue. So maybe not seriously injured. He's probably playing through a bit of the injury, but the leg fatigue mostly because he hadn't been playing full-time games in a while and played 3 games in a row. So they took him out as a precaution, but he looked pretty solid at the plate in his debut at the Jays. The other really big thing that they got offensively was just a lot more production from the catchers. In the first game of this series, Alejandro Kirk hit 2 home runs in the game, which they really hadn't been getting. And then finally, Danny Jansen, who Buck and Pat were mocking or talking about on the broadcast today. They were saying each pitcher looks like an ace. You always enter the count 0-2. The ball looks like an aspirin when Danny Jansen, of course, was 0 for 35 streak right now at the plate and got 2 hits today. Seems like it took a huge load off of his back. And that was really, really important for them to get some offense out of the catcher position. And it just makes the rest of the lineup that more dangerous because you have no one to pitch to really as you go 1 through 9. Pitching has been really, really impressive continually. Great outings today out of the bullpen, really tightening things up after Stripling went 4 2/3, gave up 2 runs. We had 6 2/3 from Robbie Ray in the first game because he had quite a big lead. So he's able to pitch deeper into the game. With Robbie Ray, he's been just using that electric fastball more. He has great movement on it. He's just been dinged a couple times with homers and has been in and out of control issues. So he's been using it more, staying more in thirds of the plate rather than trying to nibble on the corners and letting the movement do the work for him. And it's been really effective. And then I guess the last thing I want to touch on from the weekend that was awesome was Randal Grichuk, man. He had so many clutch hits last year for the Blue Jays, quite a few walk-off hits, and he gets one on Saturday night in the bottom of the 10th, walk-off single up the middle. They intentionally walk Kevin Biggio after going 3-1 down in the count to him, and that just is a little bit of disrespect to Grichuk, and he makes him pay. And really happy for the guy. He has really, over the last 2 seasons, bought into a new approach at the plate. He's a more complete hitter. He's not trying to pull everything and hit home runs. He's really spraying the ball all over the place, and he's been on quite a hot streak over the last 10 games. So really happy for him, and hopefully the Jays can keep the momentum going as they play Houston and Oakland on this upcoming week.